How you doing? So I'm going to talk a bit about gangstalking and what I've been doing to combat it. Hopefully, like other people can get inspired by what I've done. I basically, in the beginning, I started to build my own surveillance equipment, and my first idea was to use an iPhone, which was an old iPhone that I had, back from a few years ago. And to use the camera on that and mount it a bit behind the strap of a rucksack, so I'd have a strap there and the camera would be seeing out of it, and it was all right. It wasn't the best. I could only get an hour out of it, which wasn't that good. And the cameras always seem to be pointing the wrong way. Yeah, with cameras, I think the best location is quite forward looking. I think if I was to mount one on a bag next time, I'd go for the strap across here and try and put it about there. I think it'd be really good there. But anyway, I sort of tried to use that and I couldn't really exploit it at that time. So I thought I'm going to try and get some really good audio, because with my kind of gang stalking, people are coughing around me all the time and clearing their throat around me. So it's mainly audio that I need, and I discovered lav mics, which is a kind of mic that a lot of videographers use and people on the TV and that, and they're little ones. You see them sometimes clipped to ties and that, and they're about the size of a headphone jack, so they're really easy to hide. And they're quite high quality as well. So I picked up this Rode Lav Mic Plus, which only works with phones. And I developed a system, I taped it into this jacket, and it's sort of semi-permanent, so that I'm in LA at the moment. When it gets hot, I'm not going to want to wear this jacket. So then I will evolve my system, So it's plugged into an old Samsung phone I had, and it's a really good system. I get 10 hours at a time, but it will go all day. It's only because the software will only record 10 hours at a time. I just start another recording. It will last all day, and it's gathering evidence for me all day. So I've been using that lately for the past week or two, and it's been really, really good. They know that I've got it though, because the stalking's reduced a lot, so it's been a really good deterrent. I've been listening to the footage, and they've been stalking too quiet to get onto the microphone now. So they definitely know I've got it, and I found out as well that phones aren't ideal for this job at all, because even this phone that I'm using with the lav mic hasn't even got a SIM card in it, and they can still know what I'm doing with it. I think phones is a massive part of this stalking phenomenon. I'm sure if you didn't have your phone, they'd find it impossible to do it. It's a massive key, I think. So that's where I am with this now. I need to I want to develop something with video now, because I think the lav mic idea is really good. I just need to integrate it into something that's nothing to do with the phone. Something really simple, possibly a camera system that it's just a camera, has an audio in. You get the audio in with the lav mic, and that's going to be great as a daily thing to have, for gathering evidence. A few things that I've got coming. I've got a little USB camera that I've got coming, and I was inspired by this private detective who, when he has to film someone, he's got a key fob with a little camera in it, and he just carries it in his hand like that. And when he wants to point at someone, he just points it at them with his hand, And so I've got this USB thing. It's like 50 quid. You know, I'll do a couple of hours on a charge, a video, and I'm going to try and use that in places of business, right? Because everyone who's being gang stalked knows that some businesses are complicit in it, because, like, I'm guaranteed to get gang stalked in Starbucks, okay, in Von's supermarket, Perry's Beach Cafe, you know, and various others. You know, I just know it's going to happen. So what I want to do is start targeting these businesses to get evidence, because they're great for getting that, you know. And so soon, I think, rather than avoid them places, I'm actually going to seek them out, and I'm going to put together a good case that shows every time I go in Starbucks, people start coughing, and it's deliberate, you know, it's deliberate harassment, you know. Yeah, and in Vons as well, you know. I'm going to see how I go. I saw a blog from another guy the other day. He was talking about he started getting some evidence together and was speaking to a lawyer and that. And apparently the gang stalkers said it's okay, it's finished. Yeah, and so he dropped the case, and then they started again. So this gathering evidence and going to a lawyer and starting to go through the official pathways, I think, works by the sound of it, but I don't know myself yet. I've got to go. I'm going to try and go through the process, you know, because as far as I can see, I've got a few options ahead of me. You know, I can either gather evidence and go and see a lawyer and try and like get it sorted out through that way, or I can try and get away from them by losing all my electronic devices, you know, like my phone and probably my laptop as well. But maybe I'll keep my laptop, you know, but I won't have it on the internet at all. Or I can just put up with it, you know. And I think I need to get some evidence, you know, because I can't see the other two ways that that's sustainable, you know. I think I could get away from them, you know, but then you get all your life together and everything's going really well for you, and then the gang stalkers turn up and tear it all apart again, you know. So that's always the danger. That's why I want to get myself out there in the open, that I'm being gang stalked, and to find a good solicitor, get some good evidence together, you know. I think it's the way to go. Okay. Yeah, so what else have I been doing? I've been approaching my perpetrators a lot, and there's a few things that I've been doing. One of my methods, the method that I first started with, was to go up to them and start talking about gang stalking and tell them about gang stalking. And I think it's my best way, you know. I've been doing a lot of that, and I've been letting them know it's evil, and I think 50% of these people don't even know what they're really involved in, you know. And so to take away their soldiers, you know, maybe like some of these soldiers are going to turn around and say, I don't want to do this anymore, you know, once they realise they're involved in something really evil, you know. The problem that I've been getting is these perpetrators are not talking to me now. They're not like letting me have an ear, you know. So what I've started turning to is walking beside them and having a fake conversation on the phone about gang stalking. You know, because it's the only way I can like tell them something and without having them walk away from me. You know, I just like walk alongside them. And sometimes I can be quite insulting about gang stalking. I don't know if that's right or not, you know. Depends on my mood a lot of the time. Yes, I mean today, like I got gang stalked, and I walked up there and had a fake phone call, and I was saying things like gang stalkers are gutless and they're spineless and they're pathetic losers, you know. And you know, I don't really think that, actually. You know, I think they're sort of like they're being used, but I'm trying to get them to realise that there's going to be a comeback for that, for this gang stalking, you know. So I'm more inclined now, if I can get them to listen to me, just tell them about gang stalking, you know, get better at getting through to them, you know. They're always thrown, you know, especially at the point where I say, this is my script, what I say, and I'll say to them, hey, can I tell you about gang stalking? It's this thing where someone will get targeted and they'll get them sensitised to a certain sound or action until they're sick of it, you know, and then they'll pay people to do it around them. And when I say that, when I talk about when they pay people to do it around them, they're always a bit thrown, you know. And that's how I know a lot of the time that this person is a gang stalker, you know, and they have gang stalked me, you know. And that's what it's about, a little bit of money, you know. But, you know, it's like I say, a lot of people, they're surprised, I think, and angry with themselves about getting involved in this stuff, you know, because it's just easy money to them, isn't it? I mean, if I didn't know anything about gang stalking, which was the case about a year ago, and someone said to me, hey, just do a cough in front of that guy and I'll give you $30. I might do it, you know, because I'd be none the wiser. I wouldn't know about gang stalking, wouldn't know the score, you know, what it's all about. And then, you know, it's that guy I gang stalked, and unintentionally he turned around and started telling me about this thing, gang stalking. I'd be like, oh, is that what I've just done, you know? And so he's flipping the script, you know, and that perpetrator, when he like sees his handler, and he's been sort of like, you know, got involved into something like under false pretences or something, that perpetrator's going to be angry at the handler, you know. Yeah, so I think that's a really good thing to do, you know. Sidewalk chalk I've been doing as well. I've been basically like writing the information that I've been going to the police for about 20 years. Okay, I know where some kids have been abducted, and I know where they're buried. Okay, and it all goes back to the 80s, back in when I lived in Yorkshire. They involved me in a child abduction and showed me loads of stuff. And I know where these bodies are buried, and I keep trying to get through to the police. And I've been trying to get through to them recently, and that's why this gang stalking started. And so I sometimes with sidewalk chalk write that information in chalk when I get gang stalked, so that when, because I suspect they're gang stalking me to shut me up and discredit me about this information, you know. So every time, sometimes when they gang stalk me, I'll put the information on the floor and let other people know about it, you know. And because I know, you know, I'll be proven right eventually.